Hello everyone, RPG Penguin here, and welcome to my dungeon. Just kidding, it's a game on applab that uses mixed reality. So, right here I have a bit of a space, which I have walled off, and what I have here is a key, a door, and a penguin, which is supposed to be there, but a cool feature about this application, Dungeon Maker, is that it actually blacks out and grays anything that's like physical furniture, which is pretty cool, but that also means it blocks out my hands and such. So, in this game, there are a lot of really cool traps that you can throw down and play around with. So, what I'm going to try to do is get from one side of this room to the other and acquire the Penguin of Power, which is across the room behind that door. Which means I'm going to need a key to open the door and get past all these traps, which you can spawn in your very own home, wherever it may be. And there's also some enemies, traps, items, and of course a soundscape, which I'm going to turn on right now. There we go. Now I got some sounds going on. This actually recorded post, so it's just added on music instead of music that is in the game. But it is fine. So, I'm going to add some enemies here. Skeleton patrol, or skeleton guard. So the patrol goes from like a path to a path, and a guard guards any location that is dictated by itself. So, now it's spawned in. You can sort of drag these two black dots to other parts of the room. And here's where I actually exit the space, and you can see I'm in the void. But I don't really want to mess with the void, because that is outside of my guardian barrier. So, I cannot add the skeleton there, although I could delete a wall and add it that way. So, now what I'm going to do is throw down a few other things, like traps. Yeah, more traps. So, a block drop trap. Let's go for all the traps in this Dungeon Maker. Sort of just crushes, classical crush trap. Very cool, very cool. And also, you have to have in every right dungeon some sort of axe swinging trap, which now we have an axe swinging there. I put down two, and it's going to place them right there. Alright, so now they have two of those axes right there. What we can do now is go back to items, and there's a massive list of items, including these walls, which I placed down, that you can use. Just going to quickly search through all these. Alright, so floor hole 2 is actually just a square floor hole. And now let's go down to the items and acquire some sort of crawl space. So, a crawl space is a object that allows you to just sort of crawl through it. You can't walk above it, you gotta go through it. So, I'm just gonna throw that right there, and we now have a interesting dungeon, might I say. So, all you gotta do now is start it. So, you can go back to the menu. As long as you have at least an objective, you can go save, or rather, and start the dungeon, or just start the dungeon without saving. Either or, you can do it. So, I am starting the dungeon in health mode, which means that I have limited health, and you can check your health by looking at your hand. So, now the dungeon spawns around you, and you're actually in it, and you physically walk around, physically crawl around, jump from place to place, and you gotta essentially just go. So I'm trying to time this, but I decide, why am I timing this when I could just go? Because this is actually a lot of traps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm crawling through the space, and I actually think I got hit by a blade and also the skeleton, which is 2 hits, and that's really bad because you have limited health. Alright, so I sneak up, I avoid the crushing pillar, and I just straight up bolt. I think I tripped. Oh no, that thing hit me again. that saw trap was placed perfectly, and I can open my hand, which you can see right there, and it shows me how much health I have, which I have 75 left after those 3 attacks, as every attack does different amounts of damage. So, I think the crushing trap is actually an instant kill, but there we go. I've now acquired the waypoint and the penguin, which you cannot see here, but imagine there's a penguin there. Alright, with that, I'm going to say, RPG Penguin out.